I'm coming to pick you right now. Be ready, I say it as one gives an order to the weather, soft, absolute, and with the heavy certainty of someone who has spent half his life convincing the world to bend. Hear me, I am a prince who has inherited more than a name. I have inherited an appetite for outcomes, for the precise arrangement of people's lives, as if they were chess pieces or stars. Tonight the moon is a coin I could spend, the wind a servant I could summon, and your absence is an affront I will not abide. You are not here, and that is the cruelty I refuse to accept. I know the architecture of your silence as well as I know the layout of my own palace. Corridors of doubt, antechambers where excuses wait with fanning hands, but I will walk through every shadowed hall and burn every borrowed reason until I find you. This is not a plea, it is the strain of a life that mistakes possession for devotion. Tell the world I am coming and let it rearrange itself around that fact. Do you imagine my tenderness as something soft and kind? It is only that for a season. Beneath the velvet gloves and the ceremonious smiles, tenderness in me is an instrument precise, relentless, capable of shaping the raw stone of you into the shape I have been dreaming of. Love, in the private count of my nights, is not a gentle fire but a forge, hot, singeing remaking. I will arrive at your door with the smell of late roses on my coat and a history of storms in my voice. I will speak of devotion in a language that borders on dominion, because when there is desire of a certain kind, it insists on grammar, subject, verb, object. You are not the object of my cruelty. You are the axis on which cruelty and salvation both turn. I will demand your truth and, if necessary, wrest it from you like a confession. What horrifies people is that I cannot separate what I want to protect from what I want to possess. I do not apologize for the darkness. It is where I learn to love. Do not mistake patience for passivity. I have watched empires crumble and men crumble with them, and I learned that waiting is often a worse sin than striking. So I will not linger outside your window hoping for a glimpse of you, framed by candlelight. I will be the shadow that arranges the candles and the master who composes the scene. There is an art to arriving that assures you will never again be the quiet afterthought of someone else's life. I will claim your nights with words that are both lullaby and battle cry, and I will set around you a court of promises whose teeth are as sharp as their pledges are genuine. If darkness is required to teach you the contours of my devotion, then let the night be our tutor. I will speak in vows that sound like threats because they are promises that will not be broken. Believe me, my love does not flinch from the hard things. It embraces them, catalogs them, and offers them to you like a crown made of survived storms. When I stand before you, when at last I peel back the last of the distance and look into the room where you breathe alone, I will see not only the woman you are, but every scar, every defiant smile, every small betrayal you have hidden even from yourself. I will collect those pieces tenderly and insistently. I will make the world accord you the attention it has refused you. It will be terrifying and salvational at once. The terror of being utterly seen and the salvation of being sought with such hunger that there is no room left for pretense. This is my confession and my command. I am not merely coming to pick you up. I am coming to steal from fate whatever keeps us apart, to take back the hours that did not know how to hold you properly, to be the strange, dark refuge you did not know you needed. Prepare, then, dress your fears in lace or leather. Make peace with the shadows, because I will arrive and I will not leave you to the lesser lights of the world. Every hour without you stretches into a century of unrest. I walk through corridors gilded with history, yet every portrait and echo reminds me that my world is hollow without your presence. The throne, the jewels, the empire, They are ornaments of distraction, shimmering cages that fail to contain the pulse of my unrest. You are the one thing I cannot command into existence, the one soul that defies the law of my dominion. That defiance calls to me more than loyalty ever could. It is a rebellion I ache to conquer, not to destroy but understand, to make it mine in the only way that matters. You think distance protects you, but it only sharpens my intent. I can feel the invisible thread between us tighten with every breath you take, and I am certain that when I pull, the universe itself will rearrange to deliver you to me. There are nights when I stand at the balcony, the wind thick with storm and memory, and I swear I can almost hear your heartbeat across the miles. The moon hangs low, pale and accusatory, asking me why I let you go in the first place. I have no answer, only the slow burn of regret that feels too much like worship. Every star above me is a secret I once told you, and they shine as if remembering your name. I imagine you in your quiet solitude, thinking I've forgotten, believing I've moved on. But how could I? You are the pulse beneath my skin, the ghost that refuses to fade. I have built empires with less persistence than the thought of your absence. There is something cruelly divine in loving you. You were not meant for simplicity, and I was not built for gentleness. Together we are a contradiction, light pressed against the weight of shadow, tenderness wrapped in possession. My love is not the poetry of peace, it is the prose of obsession, the scripture of a man who refuses to kneel before fate. You are my confession and my crime. Every part of me that the world once feared, you've made alive again. And I hate it, even as I crave it. You've taken the quiet monster inside me and given it a name, your name, and now it hungers only for you. Sometimes I think of how the world would see me if they knew. The prince who commands armies yet loses sleep over a woman who isn't his to hold. They would call me foolish, unhinged, dangerous, and they would be right. But love like this cannot survive in moderation. It is meant to devour or be devoured. You've made me both predator and prey. The more I try to cage this longing, the more it consumes the steel around it. There is no defense against it anymore. You have already won, even in your absence, even in your silence. I still remember the scent of your skin, faint, unassuming, but utterly ruinous. It lingers in the corners of my mind, haunting the spaces between thought and desire. I chase that scent through dreams and across battlefields of memory. Each time I close my eyes, I see the way your gaze challenged me, refused to yield even when my shadow covered you whole. You never bowed, and that is why I can't let you go. You awakened in me something ancient, something that demands devotion beyond reason. And when I find you, I will remind you of the truth you tried to forget, that even the darkness kneels when you speak my name. I have sent men across continents, but none have found the peace I seek. For peace does not dwell in distant lands. It breathes in the sound of your voice, hides in the warmth of your defiance. I imagine the look in your eyes when I appear, unannounced, the night heavy around us. You will tell me I should not have come, that the past should have stayed buried. But the past never died. It waited, it lingered in the quiet between our words, in the pause before you looked away. And now it has returned, wearing my face, carrying my name, demanding its due. I do not come to rescue you. I come to claim what was promised, not by vow, not by force, but by the inevitability written into our souls. You are not a conquest, you are a storm I wish to live inside. And though the world may call it madness, I call it truth. You and I were forged from the same darkness, two shadows learning how to burn. When I reach you, I will not ask for forgiveness or permission. I will ask for nothing at all, only silence, the kind that hums when two souls finally stop running and remember where they belong. The night grows thicker as I move through it, to a tide of shadows following me like loyal soldiers. Every step feels like an echo of something ancient, something written long before we ever met. There is a pull in the air, your name whispered through the silence, your memory woven into the darkness. I no longer question whether this path is right or wrong. Morality dissolves when desire becomes destiny. You think you can hide behind miles and silence, but your absence is a wound that refuses to close, and I am done pretending that I can heal without you. You were never just a part of my life. You were the axis around which my sanity turned. And now that you are gone, the world spins wrong. I remember the last time I saw you, the way your eyes burned with something between love and rebellion, the way your lips trembled as if holding back words that could destroy us both. You wanted to run, didn't you? You wanted to save yourself from the gravity of what we were. But how do you run from something that lives inside your bones? You may have fled from the palace, from me, from the ghosts of what we built, but you cannot escape the truth that lives in your heartbeat. I know it. You know it. The air between us will always carry the scent of unfinished confessions and untamed desire. There are moments when I close my eyes and almost convince myself that I can forget you. I try to bury the thought of you beneath duty, beneath the weight of crowns and expectations. But love like ours does not wither. It waits. It hides in the cracks of my armor, in the hush before dawn, in the cold sheets that remember your warmth. I wake in the middle of the night, reaching for you, and the emptiness beside me mocks the man I have become. The prince they see is composed, unyielding, regal, but the man beneath the title is unraveling, thread by thread, whispering your name as though it were a prayer and a curse all at once. I used to believe love was a weakness. I was raised to see it as a weapon used against kings, a chain disguised as silk. But then you came, wild, fearless, untamed, and every belief I had crumbled. You looked at me and saw not a prince, not a ruler, but a man, flawed, wounded, yearning, and in that gaze I found both salvation and ruin. You broke the silence of my world and left it ringing with your laughter. Now, without it, every sound feels hollow. I would tear down kingdoms just to hear it again. I would set fire to my own throne if it meant you'd look at me once more, not with fear, but with that dangerous, devastating love that first unmade me. They call me cold. They say the prince has turned crueler, quieter, a shadow of the man he once was. They are right, but they do not understand why. They think power demands isolation, that I have chosen solitude as a crown. But solitude was never my choice. It was the price of loving someone I could not keep. My heart has learned to speak only in the language of restraint, but my soul refuses to listen. It still roars your name into the darkness, demanding your return. Every decision I make, every war I wage, is a conversation with your ghost. You have become the haunting I willingly endure. I imagine your face sometimes, how it might look when I arrive, uninvited, unannounced. You will tell me it's too late, that the distance has made strangers of us. You will say you've moved on, but I will see the truth flicker in your eyes. You can lie to the world, but not to me. The bond we share isn't mortal. It's written in something older than flesh, older than blood. When I touch your hand again, the universe will remember its balance. The stars will bow and the night will hush, because even the heavens understand what we are. I do not seek forgiveness, my love. I seek you. I seek the part of myself that only breathes when you are near. The darkness I carry does not frighten me anymore. It is the proof that I have loved beyond redemption. I will come for you, not as a prince, not as a savior, but as a man undone by longing. I will come to remind you that the fire we lit cannot die. No matter how many winters try to smother it, you may resist me, you may curse me, you may run again, but I will find you. And when I do, you will understand love was never meant to be gentle between us. It was meant to consume, to conquer, to claim.